Hello lovely people, welcome to Geneva. We are here for the L'Etape du Tour, which might just be the most epic Grand Fondo you can do. We're doing it tomorrow, so let's go! Always fun to do something like this, and you know, as I'm sure you know, L'Etape is one of the biggest Grand Fondos or sportives that you can do. All the famous climbs that you see the great Tour de France riders doing, we're going to do that tomorrow, so I'm really looking forward to that, because I've actually never really done any of those kind of like big cols. To be honest, I have no idea how long those climbs take, and there's like 3 or 4 big cols. I guess the way I get through it is I don't overly think about it. When it comes to the training for this event, I'm training just generally to be as fit as I can. Doing an event like this that is so long and so much climbing, living in Girona helps for that, being around the mountains, and also just long distance gravel races really helps. The last gravel race I did was a similar distance, a little bit less climbing, but I think it's going to be a similar kind of effort. Honestly, I've been a bit sick coming into this challenge, but I'm just hoping that years of riding a bike is going to get me through, so I guess we'll find out tomorrow.
How was your night?
Well, I wasn't much of a sleep, I have to say, but no complaints. We were too busy enjoying ourselves, eating all of the food last night. And yeah, I guess now is quite literally calm before the storm. I can't remember what time I'm off, but yeah, it's in like an hour and a half.
Ready for the view?
Oh, it's very nice. I don't know why I'm walking, I could just ride this bike. So after getting up for an early start at 5:45 a.m, we headed from Geneva over to the start in Annemasse. This year's L'Etape route was taking on stage 12 of the tour, which headed out from Annemasse for 150 or so kilometres over 4 categorised climbs before finishing in Morzine. With around 16,000 participants, it was absolute madness heading to the start. I don't think I've ever seen so many cyclists all together. Everyone starts off in different waves based on your predicted time, so I was in box 6 along with a lot of the other Tissot team. I have never done a mass start marathon, but this came somewhere close to being a similar experience. Each wave set off, and gradually we made our way to the start line. It was a really nice atmosphere, and in my wave, people didn't go crazy right from the beginning. It was nice. Everyone just settled into their own rhythm, and you could surf the wheels to find a nice tempo for you and try and hold that for the remaining kilometres. It didn't really matter what pace you were going at, because there were so many people, you could always find someone to follow. Energy at this point. Yeah, from what I understand, the climbs keep getting harder, and then we finish with the horse category. So, how's everyone else?
Very good.
Yeah.
There is only Daniel in the front.
Ah, yeah.
You are second.
And Sergi as well.
Ah, yeah, maybe Sergio, yeah.
Yeah. I passed through the first climb and I was feeling alright, to be honest. Riding with this many people was so much fun.
Yeah!
And on completely closed roads as well, you felt like you were in the middle of a real Tour de France stage. 1 climb done, 3 to go, 4 to go. I decided that I wanted to hold a decent tempo, not an all-out race pace, but then if I felt good on the climbs, I could try a little harder. But all in all, the goal was to get to the final horse category climb, which was the Col de Joux plan, with enough energy to get my arse up the final 20 odd kilometres to the finish line. Things started to go a bit south for me up the second climb. I could really feel the heat getting to me, and I found myself slowly dropping back and struggling along. Ahead of L'Etape, I worked with Precision Fuel and Hydration on my race, food and drink strategy, so I felt really confident that I was hitting my planned food and drink intake, but in spite of doing all of this planning, I started feeling worse and worse. Over the top of climb 2 of the day, I decided that even though I had taken in plenty of carbs and hydration so far, it would be best to take 5, stop, cool down, refill my water bottles with electrolytes. I wanted to try and perk myself up by going ahead on my fueling and hydration that I had planned. Obviously, I was going through more energy than I had anticipated, and to be honest, I was just kind of hopeless as to what to do at this point. So I just stopped at the feed stop. We've done about 25 miles, so that's about 25% of the way there. And we're climbing again. It's gonna be a really tough day out. Col number 2, 3, I've lost count. Col de Fou. How many Ks is it? Oh, only 6K this one, nice. Starting Col number 3, I was trying to be optimistic, but it's fair to say I was going backwards fast. Mate, I've been in and out of the bonk at least 4 times. My legs are gone now. In the beginning, I was comfortably sitting at around 200 watts, and that's a pace I knew I could sustain for the duration of the event. But with every kilometre that went by, the power that I was able to push went down. I started feeling nauseous, sick, and mentally I was having a crazy battle internally just to keep going. After sitting around third from all of the Tissot team riders, this is where everyone else in my team started to pass me one by one. I cried behind my glasses, I just couldn't understand what was happening to me, and I felt so dizzy that I was just trying to focus as hard as possible on the edge of the road to make my way up.
Allez, go, go, go! Allez, Clara, allez, lâche-moi! Vas-y, tout à droite!
Et les portes vélo tout au fond. Allez sur le parking.
Now I feel really dizzy.
Ah shit. Want to eat?
I just need to eat something and sit down for a minute.
Okay?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. After making it to the feed zone at the top, I stopped and had a good cry again. I was dry retching, I was in shock, and honestly my world was in a spin.
Maybe you should try to sit in the shadow and make sure you have enough to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm not sure if I can do this. After spending an hour or two in this kind of weird haze, I decided that it was best to scratch. I was pretty sure it was unsafe to try and descend a categorised climb whilst being in such a nauseous spin. I put my bike in the truck and called it a day. After some time, I realised that I should still try my best to enjoy this experience, so I went to grab a free beer and all of the snacks. So it's 2-3 hours after I decided to scratch. Man, that was so frustrating. I don't even know what just happened to me. And the only thing that was really getting me through it and keeping me going was just like the amazing experience of this race, like people cheering, so many people on the road, like even when I was dropping back, like there was always people around. Like I've been here for like 2-3 hours and people are still coming through in big groups, and you can probably hear people cheering and stuff like that. So yeah, at some point you just have to listen to your body. I had a pretty rough night's sleep and some stomach issues last night, so I think that that's the reason why I was quite nauseous today. Yeah, I just must have eaten something a bit funny. So yeah, we'll see how I pull up the next few days, but I'm feeling a bit better now that I've stopped. All in all, much better, and every cloud has a silver lining. Onwards and upwards. Obviously this event didn't go exactly the way that I had planned, but I'm still super grateful to have been invited and to give it a go. You can only try your best at these things, and sometimes we have bad days, and that is totally okay. Fingers crossed I get a chance to do another L'Etape, because it was honestly just such a cool event. I also want to say a huge thank you to Tissot for inviting me and just the great experience that I had. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing for more cycling content. That's it for today's video. Thank you as always for watching. Keep risking it for a biscuit, and I'll see you in the next one. Love ya. Boop.